Here we are on another episode of the EverBlack Podcast, and on this show we have probably one of the most intimidating frontmen on the planet, Derrick Green from Sepultura, who will be releasing their killer new album QUADRA on February 7th through Nuclear Blast, and I've got to say it's one hell of a way to kick off the new year. This album absolutely crushes. The riffs are amazing, the songwriting and production is on point, and Derrick's vocals are incredible on this monster. They've really pushed this thing to another level, and it's going to take a lot of people by surprise in a lot of ways as well. That's a good thing. They've really expanded their sound and not strayed from the path too far, but it's definitely taking things into some new exciting directions for Sepultura. Derrick was also really cool, and I'd heard he was over the years, and he didn't disappoint. As a fan, that's something you want to experience, and the dude is an absolute monster on stage, but chill as off stage. And as you can hear, he was up for a chat, talking about the album and touring, and we even touched up upon the mispronunciation of Sepultura, which was actually pretty funny. Great dude, great chat, and killer new album. Go pre-order QUADRA right now and get the singles Isolation and Last Time, and turn them up to 11 because they kick ass. Alright, before we go into this episode, we just need to give a shout out to Blacklight Art and Design, who are our go-to for all our screen printing needs. They do shirts, hats, patches, you name it. If you can wear it, they can print it. They've done all our shirts and hats for EverBlack Media, and they're great guys. Awesome, always helpful. Shout out to Karen and Buzz. www.blacklightad.com.au. The show is also brought to you by our friends at RW Promotion, who are the best in the biz when it comes to stickers, flyers, banners, badges, and all other promo you need for your band or business. Go check them out at www.rwpromotion.com.au. Also want to give a shout out to our friends at Electric Witch, who are the new occult clothing brand making waves across the internet now. They do all kinds of apparel like shirts, dresses, tops, hats. And, I really love my Death Dealer shirt, which I wear on a weekly basis. I love the shirt. I feel like I need to get another one, Matt. That's Matt from Dark Cell, who is the genius behind the brand. And, go check them out. And they got heaps more on the way, too. www.electricwitch.com.au. Get yourself some new threads. It's brutal. All right, don't forget to subscribe to the EverBlack Podcast through iTunes Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, YouTube, and Facebook, and check out all our reviews and articles at www.everblackmedia.com.au. Like us on all the socials, swing us a follow, and share our stuff. We appreciate it. All right, here is the one and only Derrick Green from Sepultura. Pre-order QUADRA now. Turn up the singles over the weekend. Have a few beers and enjoy. Horns high, people.
Awesome. So, Derrick, thanks for joining us on the show, man. How's everything going over there?
Things are going great, man. Just staying busy. Back from after the holidays. Working very hard for pushing everything that's possibly could be known about this new album, QUADRA. It's coming out February 7th, so I'm very excited about that.
You know what, man? QUADRA is fucking incredible. And I'm not just saying that, man.
Right on.
Dude, it's one hell of a way to kick off the new year. And, now, it really seems like you guys, over the last 3 or 4 albums especially, you seem to be on, like, this real creative role. And, as a longtime fan, man, it just really shows that you guys firing on all cylinders and just top of your game, even this far into the career. It's incredible.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, it's definitely a challenge, but we really love what we do. It's been many years, like you said, and, it still brings us such a joy to play on stage and to create and to come up with ideas. And we've become very comfortable as this unit. And I think that adds to the music, that being, playing all the time, all around the world and writing and coming together as a band. I felt this has always been an evolution happening within Sepultura.
You know what? I hear a lot of that on the album too. There's things that you guys are doing on there, especially you vocally with the melodic side of things. It's it seems like you're really pushing it into new areas as well, further than you have before.
I mean, this is something I think that we all wanted to do. You know, it's like really put much more of our personalities into the music, which is extremely important. And I mean, it was definitely one of the hardest albums to record, but at the same time, it was one of the easiest because we had so much preparation build up before going to the studio. We're very well prepared, and that helps a lot.
As always, you know, you aren't afraid to tackle some heavier subjects, like the single Last Time is about addiction, which, you know, affects a lot of people in different ways. Is this something that was a personal subject for you in a way? Affected you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it was something that I know so many different addicts. I've dated people who were addicted to, whether it be like drugs, and so I've been around that a lot in my life, and there's even certain things that you can get addicted to, as far as like people are buying a lot of just crap and things like that. You know, it's not only drugs, but I think this type of society that we live in can make you very addictive. And so it's just really, you know, I definitely wanted to write songs that go very deep, or things that touch me or people that I know. So, you know, for me, it just makes the album very honest in so many ways.
I agree. And, you know, there's another one, Agony of Defeat, which I really love too. And, you know, it goes into that big, epic, melodic chorus. What's the story behind that one?
The Agony of Defeat is another, it's not a happy song.
No.
It's definitely tackling with depression. And my mother suffered with depression, and it was something as a kid that I didn't really understand. It was something that wasn't talked about as much as it is now, but it still needs to be talked about a lot more. You find so many different suicides happening of people, and you think, oh my God, that person was famous and rich, they had everything, you know, but you really don't know. You know, a lot of times, if nobody's saying what's happening inside of them, it's impossible to really know what's going on. So I wanted to write a song about that, you know, the agony of defeat, you know, and just really how people can spiral into a depression, you know, from a lot of loss or different things that are happening around them, a lot of negativity. But always important to keep your head up and to be able to speak about it and find a solution to what's happening inside of you. So I just really wanted to write a song dealing with that.
It's a heavy song, man. Now I know what it is. It's got so much weight to it.
Oh yeah, definitely,
dude. Yeah,
I mean, when the first time hearing it, it was just I knew that I wanted to have something very deep to speak about with that song, because it was really like very dramatic, and I knew we could really expand with this song. You know, I was so happy to hear it. You know, it's like just ecstatic. You know, it's one of the songs that really gravitated towards me. One of the first songs to gravitate towards me in such a powerful way.
I think it's going to help a lot of people, dude, to be honest. Like, you probably hear that all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that is the case.
Absolutely. And another one is you've got a guest vocalist on this one too, in Fear, Pain, Chaos, Suffering, with Emily Barreto from Far From Alaska. How did that
Yes. Andreas was doing a project in Brazil, and she was a part of the project, and he approached her to be a part of the album. I was a fan of hers already, of their band. I thought they were a very unique band, coming from Brazil and doing what they do with their own personality. And I loved her vocals, so I thought it was a great idea. And the song was one of the last songs that we worked on. And we felt that this one was something that Emily could really do and make it very, you know, I wanted to hear something different as well than my voice. So it was perfect, you know, to match up and to do something together. Totally
complement each other. Like, the voices together sound awesome, man.
Awesome.
It's good. Yeah, it's really, really good. And of course, you know, there's use of string sections feel more dominant, especially the last two albums. Have you guys ever considered doing the orchestra and Sepultura type thing? You know, crossing the tribal elements with the orchestra in a big live setting?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've done this in the past, worked with an orchestra a few times, but I would love to be able to record that and do it possibly somewhere in Europe. Along with the orchestra, I would love to have a full choir. We did use a full choir on this album. A lot of people didn't realize, like, Jens was just consistent about not having keyboards or anything trickery with choir. He wanted an actual people singing. So he knew of a choir, church choir close to his house in Sweden, and had them sing all the choir parts throughout this album. So it'd be great to have a full show with choir and orchestra.
That'd be awesome. Maybe for a live DVD as well, you know, suit up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Mostly special design metal tuxedo.
Yeah, man. I'd be down for that. And also, I believe Andreas Kiss's son, Johan, has joined you guys for, you know, additional guitars from time to time, like Vaken in 2018. Has it ever been considered that him join as the second guitarist full time? Has that ever been on the cards?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that somebody said that, or I might have mentioned that to Andreas, and he's just like, no. No, I don't know. I never say that. I mean, it's always Johan is. I think he's interested in you know, so many other things, and he also has his own band, and he's an amazing guitarist, man. He's so talented, and he's getting better and better each day. But you know, never say never. I mean, I think it's great that he comes and jams, and for him, it's just relaxed and chill and a good time. And that's exactly what it's supposed to be. But any other young person would be like losing their mind or completely nervous. But his attitude is amazing.
And what about Eloy? I mean, he was voted like in the top 5 insane thrash drummers in Metal Injection recently. How's an impact he's made on Sepultura since joining?
It's a tremendous impact. I mean, it's undeniable, you know, because he's such a strong force. He loves playing metal music. He's one of the most talented drummers I've ever seen, honestly. And that power, you know, is consistent, you know, from beginning to the end. And he's been such a, you know, it really has rubbed off on all of us, you know, to really push ourselves even further. So he's such a perfect match for the band. And he really is always influencing us in so many ways to really go above and beyond, you know.
You've also worked with Her Name is Murder Productions a few times, who are good friends of ours here. David.
Yes.
And, man, awesome guy. Awesome guy. I recently had him on the show.
Yeah,
well.
David is incredible, and he's added so much to the visuals of letting people really see the true Sepultura of what's really going on with us. And I love working with Dave. I'm looking forward to doing more with him in the future. And his work is phenomenal. You know, it just really touches a lot of people. And I've heard such amazing feedback from everything that we've worked on with him.
Oh, absolutely. He's he's one of our locals. Well, sort of.
That's awesome.
We know each other. So we were actually talking about him.
He's a treasure.
Yes, he is. He's a damn good dude. Here's one for you. One of my pet hates is actually the mispronunciation of the band name Sepultura. And for years down here, I don't know if it works anywhere else in the world, but there's dudes down here that for years have called this Sepultra. Drives me up the wall. Does this drive you nuts as well? Is this something you find all around the world?
I just thought it was like really funny. But I mean, Andreas had told me before, like, oh yeah, he's like, in the very beginning, a lot, especially in the U.S., it was like Sepultra, because nobody knew how to pronounce it. But he was like, I don't really care. And so for me, it never bothered me. But I heard it just the other day too, and I was just laughing. But we make fun of it, you know, ourselves. We'll be like, Sepultra, hard, heavy. I love that band, you know. But I mean, those guys don't care. I mean, I don't care. So, but it's funny. But it's Sepultura.
That's exactly right. Maybe she gets some mispronounced shirts printed for those guys.
Yeah. Actually, that was kind of funny. Like those America shirts, and they'd be like Sepultra.
It seems like it's, I don't know. You've been down here a few times, so you know what a bogan is. It's usually the bogans that can't pronounce it down here.
But it's all good, man. I love it. It's like everyone has like certain accents, and for me, I think it's just it's great.
And another thing is, of course, I mean, you are an absolute beast of a frontman. One of my favorite vocalists, actually, and super intimidating on stage, that's for sure. And everyone I've met who has ever interacted with you off stage has said, "What a great dude you are!" But it's like the Jekyll and Hyde. Do you need time to switch that off after you come off stage, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I need a good amount of time just to like come down off of the serious high, because it's really amazing to be able to connect with people in the audience and with your bandmates, and that whole energy is just on such a high from a whole day of like waiting to play, and then it's just there. It's at times it's hard to sleep, but after doing many, many, many shows, you just learn to really switch it off slowly and do a certain routine that helps you, like soothe your mind, because it can be really a lot to take in,
I could imagine that. I've seen you a few times, and I'm just like, how's this dude just calm down? Like, so intense live. I saw him, the last time was in Byron. I went down to the Byron show, and man, that was incredible.
Oh, that was fun. God, I miss it there already.
Are you coming back? What's
happening?
I
mean, that's the plan. I mean, I hope it's in fall. I mean, it would be great if it was this year, but we'll see. I can't. Once the dates come up, then I'm going to have to either come early or stay later, because I mean, it's such a far trip. It's a pity not to spend extra time there.
Because you surf, right, as well?
Me? No, I don't.
No?
But I have a lot of friends that do, especially from Brazil. And I love photography, so I'm always taking photos of surfers or a beach or anything around that. So
yeah, awesome. So I didn't know that about you. Like, into your photography. Is that?
Yeah, definitely. I started almost when I joined the band. We were just going to so many incredible places, and there was so much time that I had before playing that I just ended up walking around taking photos of the environment, and it's just like mind blowing how many photos I have now. But I love it. It's definitely a good way to soothe the mind.
What about? Have you ever thought about releasing like a book? Like a photo book?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just always looking around for publisher, and I definitely want to release a book and do more with my photography. I've done a few shows here in LA, and I look forward to doing more. So,
cool. Awesome, man. Well, QUADRA comes out on February 7th through Nuclear Blast, and pre-orders are up now. Thanks again for taking the time to hang out on the show, mate, and hopefully we'll see you soon for a beer.
Okay. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.